It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's all up next.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from Arrowhead. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly. Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
Got a man, it's Brown. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. That one a first down pickup of 8. Mahomes to throw once more. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And they were looking to set up the screen, but that's going to be incomplete. Almost wound up going the other way. Well covered defensively, and it'll bring up third down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And that is incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming fourth down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this will remain a scoreless game. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. The first carry now. This is Johnson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Second down and 8. To throw, it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. Rodgers going to throw. Short throw to Smith. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's a 2nd and 8. On play action, Rodgers. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, I'll guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. Now a 3rd and 6. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Deep to return is Calvin Austin. This is taken at the 15. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And they will take over 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. On play action. Now Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. A handoff for Warren. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 25-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he's got room. And that's going to be a Chiefs 1st down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
On 1st down, they go back to Pacheco. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss. Mahomes now to throw.
That'll be caught by Rice. That'll go go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. Mahomes going to throw. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Matt Ariza now on to punt this one away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They begin the drive with Johnson, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Now it's Rodgers. Got his man, it's Warren. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he goes out right around the 39. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll give up the middle to Johnson. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler 1st.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd down and a yard. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Bad news, they didn't get it on 2nd down. The good news is they still only need about 3 or 4 inches here on 3rd.
And the good play callers have looked at both situations. They thought to themselves, okay, this call, I pick up the first down, already ready with that call. If I don't, this is what I'm going to come back with in order to pick it up.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Second and 7. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. 49 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Rodgers now to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Pat Freiermuth from a yard out. And the Steelers are able to add on to that lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 8. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this 2nd quarter. They're moving it pretty good, and that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another 1st down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Now here's Mahomes. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's got his man on the out route. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And the Chiefs are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. And now a pause as they tend to an injured player. And, boy, that you got to hope this is minor. That's Patrick Mahomes, who's in some discomfort out there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Now Minshew has it knocked out. Fumble. This has been a long drive. You know that defense, they're craving to get off the field. They were able to force it free but couldn't recover it.
Yeah, and on the offensive side of the ledger, they were thinking about how do we punctuate this drive with 6, right? Make it an exclamation point. Instead, you got to put a question mark next to this drive now after the fumble, even though they recovered it.
Eluding the pressure right. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Gardner Minshew taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs are back within a score. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up second down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On play action, now Rodgers. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Up the middle, Johnson. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Now Minshew. That one caught by Rice. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Looking to throw it, Minshew. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Minshew. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body, because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And got his man complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Again, Minshew looking to throw. That'll be caught by Rice. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 23, this is 2nd and 3. Minshew sets to throw. Finding Gray on the out route. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's caught. It's Kelce. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. To throw, it's Rodgers. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. George Karlaftis in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So we've come upon halftime here in KC with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Now Rodgers. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That connection seemed to work out okay on the first play of the drive. Why not go right back to it? And once again, this defense is left without an answer as they surrender back-to-back first downs.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. Throwing is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 28. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. Now Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5. Now it's Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Rodgers to throw once more. He'll find Metcalf. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Johnson is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Boswell for the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2.
And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Hunt.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. It'll be Minshew again. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. He'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency. Get to the line of scrimmage. Snap the ball.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Out of the gun is Minshew. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
The Steelers ready to take over on offense.
Rodgers going to throw.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Rodgers now to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Rodgers again now.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff. Johnson. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with the 3rd and 7 ahead. Throwing now is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers forced out to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. Looking for Austin, intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick, and the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game, 1st and 10 here. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
In motion left goes a tight end. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They run with a veteran speedster. It's Kareem Hunt. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback up.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Cameron Hayward able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Here's the Chiefs punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Now Austin. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Back to throw. Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That was Nick Bolton rushing in and burying him behind the line. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon.
62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And this offense on third down today, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is 3rd and 16.
Got his man. It's Warren.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back.
The Chiefs offense set to go. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
Out route, and it's complete to Brown.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This is 2nd and 8. Again, it's Pacheco.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. From the gun, it's Mahomes.
Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
2nd down and a yard.
Now Mahomes.
Finding Gray on the out route.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Here's Mahomes to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And Brown's got it for a Kansas City touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs put together a 4th-quarter drive to take the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Steelers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing is Rodgers. That is caught. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Johnson running right. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 73 yards rushing for him now to this point. From the 46, here's 2nd and a yard. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
On play action, now Rodgers. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a first down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need him to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes a correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
Now Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Here's a 2nd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Now Rodgers.
That completes it again to Metcalf.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
A give up the middle to Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead.
And Charles, the 2nd time today that he has hit pay dirt.
And once you score the first one, there is that natural tendency, and there's also that eagerness to get back there again. Oh, he smells it. This guy smelled the end zone, and twice he's gotten there.
They do tack on the extra point as well, so it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down 24-21. A minute 45 to play. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's Mahomes. Looking for Gray, and he's got it.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Mahomes will throw.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I don't know if you need the big shot right there or not because you've still got time to work some of the shorter stuff and try to get into field goal range. They did go for the big one there. It would have been nice, but it winds up incomplete.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Mahomes finding Kelsey.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Mahomes to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now 2nd and 4. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Here now, 3rd down. Mahomes. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this one is no good. He missed it. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
We so often think of these kickers as automatic at any distance, and it's just not the case because when you start talking about 50-plus yards, that's still a tough one to connect on. This one ends up no good, and that should put to rest any chance of this game getting to overtime.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, of course, this is a win they're going to hang their hat on. They go on the road and defeat the defending Super Bowl champs.
Partner, they came, they saw, they conquered.
They conquered.
But before all that happened with the conquering part, they believed. They thought it all week, It was evident when we talked to them before the ball game that they thought they could get this done, and they knew exactly how, had a plan, formulated it, and then executed it. That's a big-time win to take down the defending Super Bowl champs.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.